I said I would talk through the P mode. For some reason I completely skipped this option. It's here up the top. It actually stands for Program Auto Exposure, which allows you to basically change some bits, but the camera's doing the exposure for you, so you don't have to worry about picking your shutter speed or your aperture. A lot of the time at work we sort of suggest that it's automatic without the flash, because with a lot of our cameras the flash pops up even if you don't want it to, so you switch to P and then the flash is down. But you can see here obviously the flash is off because it's down. As soon as I flip it up, flash is on. Now you can press the flash button up here and there's a lot of different options. I actually want to talk through the flash options in another video, so I'm not going to do that right now. But I was just going to talk through the P mode. So obviously we've got the flash on at the moment. If we press the function set button here, the center one, we're just going to see what we can change. So there's still a lot we've got control over, but the camera's still doing a lot of the hard work for us with all the exposure and everything. We've got our white balance here, so we can scroll through those and pick which one we want. I'm just going to leave that to auto. This next one we've got the My Colours option. This is where you've got vivid, neutral, sepia, I always get that wrong, black and white, you know, all of these sort of extra colour options that you can play around with, and you don't even have to worry about using any of the special settings, so that's cool. You've got bracketing. We've been through bracketing before in previous videos, but it basically gives you an overexposed image and an underexposed image, and then your center image, and you can compile them together. So you can switch it off, you can have it for exposure, or you can have it for focus. If you're unsure about those, check out the bracketing videos that I've done. You've got your single shot, multi-shot, or multi-shot with autofocus. So they're really good options. That's if you want to do, you sort of want to track something and you want to keep the focus on it, so you can just keep taking shots by keeping your finger on the shutter. That's always a cool option. It's a bit slow though, to be honest. It's not, doesn't really do the action shots as well as it should do. You've got your flash compensation. So if you find that your flash is likely to come out overexposed or underexposed, you can alter that. I've not actually played around with that, but again I'll talk through the flash at another point. You've got your metering. So this is basing the brightness of your scene depending on what you tell the camera to do. So you've got evaluative brightness, so it's based on the overall scene. It's picking the best brightness for the general scene it's seeing. You've got center weighted, which means that whatever you're focusing on in the center, that's going to be the brightness that your camera's focusing on. And then you've got spot. If you pick that one, the brightness is based inside this square. So what you'll do is you'll pick an area of the room that you want the light to be focused on. So I'm looking at the ceiling, half press the shutter, it's picked that brightness, and then you can take your picture. So if I did the same thing but from a darker point in the room, so maybe I took the light metering from a darker point, maybe around the corner, and I brought it back round. It's a much darker point, which makes the camera think that it's looking at a much darker image. So when I take that shot, it's going to be very overexposed. But sometimes you can play around with that to get the right exposure that you want. So that there I'd metered from a very dark place, there I'd metered from a very light place. So that's what that option does. You've got your image aspect ratio for your still image. This allows you to select the size of the images that you're using. 16:9 is widescreen, 3:2 and 4:3 tend to be rectangular, sort of standard framing, and then 1:1 is like a square shot. You've got your image size and quality, so you go large, medium 1, medium 2 and small, so you base that on what size prints you want. When you're using small, it's really for attachments and emails, and large is really for good prints. I always keep mine on large because even with a fairly small memory card, I can still get 5,000 images. It's very rare that I'll fill that up unless I'm doing video as well. Which brings us on to our last option, which is our video settings. So you can choose whether to shoot in full HD, HD or standard. And again, it tells you how much time you got to film. So I could do 154 minutes if I wanted to. I really don't need to. But anyway, those are the options that you can use in program. So it's just a really good way of moving slowly into manual, but not going into choosing your shutter speed and ISO and everything like that. It still keeps things quite basic.